You're good to go.
All right, great. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's Michael's cell phone.
His phone. Who is that?
Michael Wright.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
I was just gonna. I heard it all the way out in the hallway. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. Check the agendas.
Supervisor Moore,
Present.
Councilwoman McNamara,
Present.
Councilman Isili and Powell are not with
Councilmember
us.
Iacili is out due to a death in the family, and our condolences to him and his family. And Councilmember Hal is out because his daughter Hannah had her baby last night. He wanted everyone to know.
Councilman
Good news.
Schiavone,
Present. It's great news.
Yeah,
congratulations.
congratulations is right. It was nice to have a new baby. Okay, so we'll go forward with the review of the draft agenda. There'll be 5 public hearings. The first one is a public hearing for the applicant seeking an exemption from Town Code Chapter 314 entitled Moratorium on Battery Energy Storage Systems pursuant to subsection 314-6 entitled Applications That May Be Exempted. Second public hearing will be to consider the acquisition of 1065 Millstone Road in the hamlet of Noyak, New York, and to amend the CPF's management and stewardship plan to include the property. The third public hearing is to consider the acquisition of 21 Deer Run, also known as 1451 Deerfield Road, in the hamlet of Watermill, New York. The fourth public hearing is to consider a local law enacting Chapter 316A Abandoned Vessels, which creates procedures for the handling of abandoned vessels. And the fifth public hearing is to consider amendments to the Town Code, Article 24, entitled Central Pine Barrens Overlay District, to incorporate recent changes to update the comprehensive land use plan. And we did have a work session on that where Teresa presented. Okay.
And our first resolution, Resolution 764 of 2024. This is the 2024-2025 home sale price and rental formula multipliers for units reserved for income-eligible households. And we had a work session on this.
Kara did a nice job explaining all
did.
the details.
And Town Board Resolution 46744, co-sponsored with Councilman Powell, accept award and authorize the supervisor to sign any and all documents pertaining to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Invasive Species Grant Program 2023, Round 3.
Town Board Resolution ID number 46787 to amend the authorization of the purchase of 8 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicles from John Vance Motors, Inc.
Cindy, could I co-sponsor that? Town Board Resolution 46779, sponsored by Councilman Pell, authorize a change order number 1 with Terry Contracting and Materials Incorporated for the Alwive Creek Enhancement Project. Awesome. Town Board Resolution 46690, sponsored by Councilman Pell and Councilman Uselli, authorize the purchase from Rockland County Contracts with East Coast Emergency Lighting. Town Board Resolution 46743, sponsored by Councilman Pell, authorize supervisor to sign a contract with L.K. McLean Associates Engineering and Surveying, DPC, to provide surveying, design, and permitting services in relation to the proposed drainage improvements at Foster Avenue and Lighthouse Road in Hampton Bays. Town Board Resolution 46742, sponsored by Councilman Pell, authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with L.K. McLean Associates Engineering and Surveying, DPC, to provide surveying, design, and permitting service in relation to the shoreline stabilization and drainage improvements at Royal Avenue North in Flanders.
Town Board Resolution ID number 46782, sponsored by Councilmember Iacilli, to authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with Riverhead Community Awareness Program to provide funding for the Southampton Youth Bureau Summer Soccer Clinic.
Town Board Resolution 46784, co-sponsored Councilmember Iacilli, authorize the supervisor to sign the Community Development Block Grant Public Service Group contracts for the fiscal year 2023.
I had a question about this one. The Bridgehampton Senior Center Phase 1, we talked about some changes to the senior center, and is that still, I'm not sure what that Phase 1 is for, and if we're still going to go forward with it.
As I understand it, it's for the traffic study in order to possibly do the change of zone there.
Oh, okay.
But we could get Janice up to get
Can we use CDBG money for that?
in that area. I believe so, but again, let's get Janice up to double check
Yeah.
exactly what it's for.
Okay. All right, and in the meantime, proceed. This is me here, Michael. Town Board Resolution ID number 46702, sponsored by Councilman Iacilli and Councilwoman McNamara, to authorize the supervisor to sign the 2024 Hand Aldrich Post number 924 Hampton Bays American Legion, Inc. Community Program Grant. Town Board Resolution ID number 46710, co-sponsored with Councilman Pell, to authorize the purchase of automotive parts and accessories for light, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles and related products and services from Omnia Partners contract with Advance Auto Parts. Town Board Resolution ID number 46741, to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract extension with Eileen Keenan for part-time program coordinator for the Peconic Estuary Program. Town Board Resolution ID number 46777, to authorize the supervisor to execute any and all documents pertaining to grants from New York State.
Town Board Resolution 46772, this is sponsored by Councilman Pell and co-sponsored by me. Authorize the supervisor to sign a no-cost contract extension for awards of Community Preservation Fund, 20% Water Quality Improvement Projects funds for the Village of Southampton.
Town Board Resolution ID number 46751, to authorize the supervisor to sign any and all documents with Andrews Technology HMS Inc. for UKG web-based time and attendance software. Looks like we'll have some savings there with this new arrangement. Town Board Resolution ID number 46688, to award and authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with KM Printing, LLC, DBA Strategic Factory for town-wide printing. And Town Board Resolution ID number 46691, co-sponsored by Council Members Iacilli and McNamara, to award and authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with South Shore Docks, Inc. for the construction, equipment, and marina maintenance services.
Town Board Resolution 46671, sponsored by Councilman Pell. Award and authorize the supervisor to sign contracts for street sign blanks, reflectorized sheeting, and traffic marking tape. Town Board Resolution 46773, sponsored by Councilman Pell and Supervisor Moore. Award and authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with BBS Architects, Landscape Architects, and Engineers, PC, for professional architectural and engineering design services for the West Hampton Activity Center.
We'll have a presentation on that today.
Town Board Resolution 46689, sponsored by Councilman Pell, co-sponsored by Councilwoman McNamara. Recall and amend Resolution 24-189, sign contract for furnish and deliver assorted oils, lubricants, and grease with LubeNet, LLC, West Hampton Auto Supply, and Grade A Petroleum Corporation.
Town Board Resolution ID number 46528, recall and amend Resolution number 2024-592, authorizing the purchase of Motorola radios from Integrated Wireless Technologies LLC using the New York State OGS contract with Motorola Solutions, Inc. It's just reflecting a change in the name of the company.
Town Board Resolution ID 46736, resolution authorizing the Parks Director to enter into interim agreement for mobile concessions pursuant to Town Code 111-7B2 for 2024 season at Red Creek Park.
Town Board Resolution ID number 46775 to accept the development period payment from Kearsarge Energy Limited Partnership and to amend the 2024-2028 capital budget for sustainable infrastructure project. Town Board Resolution ID number 46698 to accept reimbursement for insurance recoveries and to amend the 2024 adopted budget for the Parks Department. Town Board Resolution ID number 46703 to amend the 2024 adopted budget for the Highway Department part-time salaries. And Town Board Resolution ID number 46764 to amend the 2024 adopted budget for part-time salaries in the Supervisor's Office. Town Board Resolution ID number 46699 to amend the 2024 adopted budget for nutrition programs. Town Board Resolution ID number 46720 to amend the 2024-2028 capital budget based on the debt reduction policy. And I did meet with Dorothy about this, so if you had any questions, please feel free to ask me in her absence. These are just, lines in which the there was excess in the lines. They weren't drawn down as much as anticipated. There was additional revenue so that we don't need to borrow the money that we were going to borrow to fund some of these projects. Town Board Resolution ID number 46694 to authorize the supervisor to sign a statement of annual financial and operating information and file with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Town Board Resolution ID 46700, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorization of cost reimbursement waiver for the Hampton Bays Fire Department Parade on July 31st from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Town Board Resolution ID 46697, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorization of cost reimbursement waiver for Hampton Bays Fire Department Carnival from July 30th to August 4th. Town Board Resolution ID 46707, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorization of cost reimbursement waiver for the North Sea Fire Department Annual Carnival from July 2nd through July 6th, 2024 from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Town Board Resolution ID number 46749, co-sponsored with Councilman Schiavone, to authorize the waiver of parks and recreation fees for Escola de Samba Boom.
Just a note on this one originally came to me from the Parks Department, as I usually get these for the fee waivers. I declined. This is the Samba group that Supervisor Schneiderman put in the request for, former Supervisor Schneiderman, for the Monday nights at Sagmain Drum Circle. They are not a not-for-profit, and also I just want to bring it to your attention at this point in time, they do not have an insurance certificate on file with the town. So
They don't charge any fees, though, for attendance.
It should be $2,200. No, they don't charge fees, but they are not a non-for-profit group, and they do have a history of the events drawing large crowds, and Parks Maintenance has to go out there on Tuesday mornings and clean up broken glass and open fires and lots of litter. So
In the past.
Hello.
in the past,
In
and
the
I hope it
past.
doesn't continue.
And so when you said you declined to bring it to the board for consideration.
I declined to bring it to the board for consideration of waiving the fees because they are not a non-for-profit group. The same as I declined waiving the fees for the Southampton Bocce League because they are not a non-for-profit group.
The Bocce League was asking for a waiver.
They were.
Do they pay? Do they? Their
We
members
groom the
pay
courts and we have
fees?
maintenance fees. The only
charge the Bocce League?
the only leagues we don't charge are Little League and usually not-for-profit 501c3s. This is neither.
You know, in the
And
I
they
don't.
do get parking permits for out-of-town residents.
I'm not sure if we have a policy in the town, but in the village in West Hampton, we had something where everybody, with their application, put in a security deposit, $500, so that after the event, if the highway department or parks department had to do any cleanup, we would withdraw or reduce the amount refunded. It was a refundable, fee. So, I mean, if we don't have something like that, that could be a way to address
The cleanup?
issues about cleanup. Does
If they
anybody know if
exist.
we have that? Sure. But
Because,
check
We
with
have it.
I mean, in 6 years that I've been here, we haven't heard anything about
I've
cleanup
had
issues
complaints
down
from
there.
Parks Department several times.
Okay.
It
in
was the
6
supervisor's
years.
event, so nothing was done.
So, right, this is something
has
that
actually never
this
come
is
to
something.
us.
Excuse me. This is something that has, please, it happened. Has been occurring for about a decade and a half down there.
And this is the first time
And-
the town board is weighing in on waiving the fees for this event, so that's interesting as well.
All right, well, we'll get some clarification on that.
Town board
That's not,
resolution,
wait, that's not
just
accurate
on the-
because we did change the daily fees, and I think years ago in previous supervisors that has been a discussion at the town board level on
The
some
last-
level, but there would be a considerable amount of research to be done to actually refute the statement that you just said.
In the
So-
last 2 years, as a town board member, I have never weighed in on weighing the fees for this group.
I believe you said ever, and I don't want to argue with you.
I
but-
have never.
Okay, you said it's never come to the town board, so,
In your time.
In my
Okay.
time on the
here.
town board.
okay, well, thank you for qualifying it. Okay, good.
Town Board Resolution ID 46704, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli. Cost reimbursement waiver for iTries Hampton Youth Triathlon on July 13th, 2024 from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and practices on July 2nd, July 8th, and July 10th.
I'd like to co-sponsor that, so.
Town Board Resolution ID 46747, designate additional parking spaces for military and veterans, and this is throughout the town.
I think this is a nice idea, but who decides where and how many spots?
It's decided between Parks and Municipal Works, and they only do it in lots that they deem there are enough spots. And it's usually just one spot. There's one spot in Good Ground Park, there's one spot at Town Hall.
There
We-
used to
we-
be ones
we
in
have
the back
6.
parking lot for Purple Heart veterans. Until it was redone, and I don't.
There's one at Red Creek. There's several. They just wanted to take a look and they wanted a resolution so that they could do it as being,
Sure.
instead of authorizing each additional sign.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Thank you.
How many are there currently?
I don't know.
It
I
says
couldn't-
6.
Okay.
I don't know why I
Because
thought
Julie
it was
brought this
6.
forward. I remember Julie Lofsted, Councilwoman Lofsted brought this forward.
Oh, there was a resolution authorizing 5
5?
back in
Okay.
2020.
Yeah, right. That's it.
So now we'll make sure there's one
We're
in
just
each
adding more.
municipal parking lot.
Not
at
each
least
one. If there's a municipal plot that's small or they don't feel like they can give up a spot, then it won't be. But in
Mhm.
ones where we feel like there is enough space and it's warranted, they'll add one like they just added one in Good Ground Park.
Thanks.
Town Board Resolution 46672, accept a maintenance bond in connection with Southampton Farm Supply LLC.
Town Board Resolution ID number 46757 to accept the resignation of Francis Zapone, Deputy Supervisor in the Supervisor's Office. And, yeah, Frank's, well, of course, he's been here the whole time I've been here. But before that, the entire term with Jay, and before that with Anna. So he's put in a lot of years with the town, and we'll do something, special at the meeting on Tuesday for him.
Good. Frank's been very effective.
And Town Board Resolution ID number 46588 to accept the retirement of Constance Conway, Legislative Secretary in CTV. And, again, Connie was
Mhm.
so helpful with the C and Sun TV, and she'll be missed as well. Town
Yes.
Board Resolution ID number 46686 to accept the resignation of Tina Jambensky, Account Clerk in the Highway Department. Town Board Resolution ID number 46724 to appoint Manola Espana to the Justice Court Clerk Spanish-speaking position from the Civil Service list. Town Board Resolution ID number 46740 to rescind Resolution number 2024-772. Town Board Resolution ID number 46778, co-sponsored with council members McNamara and Scavone. A notice of public hearing on the acquisition of 356 Head of Pond Road in the hamlet of Watermill, and to amend the Community Preservation Project Plan and Community Preservation Management and Stewardship Plan to include the property. That'll be on July 9th. And Town Board Resolution ID number 46780, co-sponsored with council members McNamara and Scavone, to schedule a notice of public hearing on the acquisition of 374 Head of Pond Road in the hamlet of Watermill, and to amend the Community Preservation Project Plan and Community Preservation Management and Stewardship Plan to include the property.
Town Board Resolution
July 9th also for that one.
Sorry about that. Town Board Resolution 46731, sponsored by Councilman Pell. Resolution setting public hearing to consider enacting seasonal parking restrictions on Mountain Laurel Lane in Tuckahoe.
I know that Bill, of course, is not here. I hadn't heard about this one. Do you happen to know who evaluated that?
I don't know who evaluated
Road.
it. I know there's concern about parents dropping their children off at the day camp, which is right next door. And this is an issue that the neighbors have been concerned about this for quite some time.
So we'll have somebody from engineering or highway come to the public hearing on the 9th to talk to us about that.
Town Board Resolution 46723, co-sponsored with Supervisor Moore. Notice of public hearing to accept a grant of conservation easement from 1030 Noyak Path LLC on a property located at Watermill, Suffolk County Tax Map number as indicated, pursuant, I'll read it in the meeting, pursuant to Southampton Town Code, Section 244-4, obtaining a development right certificate, and Section 247, General Municipal Law of the State of New York. And Town Board Resolution 46722, co-sponsored with Supervisor Moore. A notice of public hearing to accept a deed of residual fee from Joseph F. Gaza for properties to be maintained as open space located at North Sea, Suffolk County Tax Map number as indicated, pursuant to Southampton Town Code, Section 244-4, obtaining a development right certificate, and Section 247, General Municipal Law of the State of New York.
Okay, very good. And I have one add-on. Town Board Resolution ID number 46713 to amend the 2024-2028 capital program and add capital project to the West Hampton Transfer Station improvements to replace the waste oil tank. And does that also include the handicap ramp and the speed tape? All right, good. Well, that's it for the agenda, Sunday.
So stick around for a little bit, listen to the West Hampton.
Oh, good, all right. Well, we
presentation.
have the West Hampton, I call it a community center. It's listed as an activity center. Project update. And with us today is Nick Jimenez, our Capital Projects Manager, and Kara Bach, Director of Housing and Community Development. Come on up.
Yes, it'll be a community center, but for budgeting purposes, we're calling it an activity center.
Okay.
It's the same.
Good morning. This is about the bid packets we received.
Yes, the proposals.
You're gonna hand this here?
You want them all?
I do.
You stamped them already.
Oh, you did? Oh, yes.
See what goes around.
You
comes
get
around
a gold
Sunday.
star. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
I think you're the only one in all my time here to actually do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Very smart man.
Somebody still found something to stamp.
Excellent. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I've given you guys a brief sheet and a copy of the proposed proposal
Thank you.
that the review committee is recommending.
Thank you.
Okay. So, we published a request for proposals to hire architectural firms to design and develop the West Hampton Activity Center on Mill Road. We received 14 proposals from a very diverse group of architects and architectural engineering firms.
That's nice to have such a
Yeah, it was
response.
robust. Took a while to get through them all, but a committee or a team consisting of housing, municipal works, CPF, parks, and you, Ms. Supervisor, met on Monday, discussed our opinions and our findings in the review, and narrowed it down to 4 proposals, or 4 firm proposals from 4 firms. Based on further discussion amongst ourselves about those 4 firms, we're recommending that the board move forward by hiring BBS, landscape architects, and engineers. They offered, just as a coincidence, the lowest cost, but they also had a very impressive proposal. They can do almost every service in-house. They're using consultants for survey, construction administration much later, and soil investigation, which is fairly common. A lot of the proposals included multiple sub-consultants. They were architectural firms that were proposing consultants from estimating to civil, structural, all down the line. So we felt, being that it's in-house, they have experience designing community centers for Riverhead and Huntington. They've done schools. They did the West Hampton Elementary School or Middle School, the one with the lighthouse on Ponquad, right? I think. I have to look it up. But
I think what your point about the doing all the service themselves and not, putting it out to subcontractors is important. You were mentioning that it made for a more responsive, quicker turnaround.
correct.
In your experience.
Yeah, in my experience, if I have a question that pertains to the structural engineering design of the building and they're doing it in-house, they can walk down the hall or pick up a phone or transfer me to that person to have the discussion, as opposed to the firm having to go to their subconsultant and wait for a reply to then get the reply back to me.
Mm-hmm. They even do the soil testing?
The soil testing, they're subbing out to soil mechanics, but that's fairly common because you need drill rigs and they're actually going to conduct borings to determine soil density and all the other parameters that they'll need to know to actually design a foundation system, bearing capacity and what have you, leaching capacity for the drainage, sanitary. They are proposing a 10 to 12 month design schedule, and they're proposing a 10 to 12 month construction schedule, which brings completion to the summer of 2026, assuming we move forward in August, which is aggressive. I mean, it's going to be a big building. It'll be a robust public information and possibly input period in the beginning, so that everybody's on board, hopefully, and in some sort of a consensus as to how best to move forward. And that'll take the longest out of it. But once we have a clear-cut vision and we can provide the consultant with that direction, we can push them to do what need be done to expedite the plans.
Maybe they won't need 10 to 12 months
Exactly.
to design it. So is the first part the conceptual? Is that what you're...
Yes. So concept design, where they'll meet with the representative departments and the board at either a workshop or something along those lines, and just get feedback from the town. What does the town want to see? What type of options do we want presented to us? Based on those representations, we'll give them further guidance. At that time, it'll be up to the board whether or not you want to put them out to the community or have some informational
We
hearing.
should certainly have Laura and Tracy as the contact people for seniors and youth services.
Yeah, so my department was involved because under my department is the community services. Community services encompasses both the youth bureau and the senior services. So my department reviewed all 14 of these, and we're very confident in BBS's ability to meet the needs of both the seniors division and the youth bureau division. From their proposal, we saw that they have the ability to design multifunctional spaces. We saw that they have the ability to provide specific areas to different age groups. And we feel that they can design something that reflects the needs and the desires of our community as a whole. So we really like their proposal, and we're confident in it. What I would like to do, as you mentioned, at some point in time, is bring in Tracy Colson, who is the director of the Youth Bureau, and also Laura Pettit, who is the director of our senior services, because they have the knowledge and the experience, and they know what is needed by each of the specific divisions. So I'd like to bring them in to be able to communicate with the architect at the very early stages, design stages, so that the architect knows what's needed by our community.
Yeah, I think that's smart. And we could do that in a workshop in the conceptual stage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, and get something then to show the community in the next phase, which what would you call that?
So it goes from concept to preliminary design to final design.
And then Mayor Urban in West Hampton Beach offered us the Village Hall if we wanted to have a meeting there and invite the community from that area of the town.
Yeah, BBS in their presentation said they were willing to reach out to the community and receive their input about what is needed. So we like that presentation as well. So,
Is that part of their proposal, is to actually do the community meetings?
yeah,
How many do they have?
they didn't
How many do they have?
specifically say, they just mentioned that they would be willing to work with the community and discuss their
Okay,
proposal with the community. So
I've been involved in a number of projects with Kevin, so I've known him for a long time.
Yep.
They're a good firm. I've always had positive experiences with them.
one of the things I like too, in some of their prior designs, they had quiet reading areas and they had activity rooms. They really had like vibrant, adaptable spaces. And I think we need to be able to draw in our youth. This new location is really going to be terrific, I think, for our local, middle school seniors, even the elementary school. It's going to be a terrific space that is accessible to them. And if we have some nice, vibrant spaces and something that can draw the kids in, I think it's going to be terrific.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be walkable for the students, and there'll be plenty of parking for the seniors, and
Absolutely.
lots of outdoor space, right?
That is our hope. Is we don't have a lot of senior centers that have that outdoor space, and so that's something that I would like to work with this architect on. Maybe an outdoor reading areas and for our seniors, and some outdoor spaces. We talked about bringing in some programming, more active senior programming, and if we have some outdoor spaces, maybe for Tai Chi or some yoga, I think it would be a terrific, yeah.
It is nice though to see also, references and letters of support
Mhm.
from Lars Clemenson and Nicholas Dino and Denise Sullivan, people that we know and have partnered with and worked with that have worked with this firm. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty,
That's important.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Known as BBV, right? They were BBV at one time. I guess Barrett by Machine then.
Usually go when they put the, what coming meetings.
I do that often.
Yeah, it's in the actual RFP. I think I called for at least 2 or maybe 3, but it's in there. that's what I have for you guys.
So that's the recommendation, and there are letters of support, and they are the lowest bid, and they have a good reputation.
So I think their experience, their design philosophy, their commitment to engage with the community, I think it makes them an ideal choice.
Mm-hmm. And they're very colorful for the youth, the examples they gave some of their other locations.
And they're also fairly local, located in Patchogue. A lot of the firms were located in Manhattan, Western Long Island, or Western Suffolk County, excuse me. But they're right there in Patchogue, so, which is always a plus. It's easier to get to West Hampton from Patchogue than it is Manhattan.
Yep. That's for sure.
Yeah. I know they've done a lot of municipal projects, but they've also done projects for, on the private side too, so they have good perspective, I think.
Yeah,
You've
I've
worked
worked
with
with
them
them,
before?
correct. I worked with them on the Conti Center at my time in Huntington, and they actually picked up a design from a previous consultant and took off running and completed it in pretty quick time frame. And then the town is still deciding what exactly they want to do over there. That's since I've joined this town.
Mhm. Well, it's exciting to take the next step. Do you have any other questions about it for now?
No.
Right, well, thank you for your opinions and your good work researching these 14 proposals. That was a lot.
Yes, it was an undertaking.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we had more input, but it's just like you saw the 14 for like we're not sitting here to vet 14 proposals, so we're relying on you guys to tell us, this is the best. And
So if you would like, I can invite them to come. I mean, kicks the can down the road a couple of weeks, but we can always invite them to come and actually have an interview with the board if that's something that you guys feel you'd like to.
You know,
You've
it was
already
interesting
interviewed
because
We haven't interviewed them. We reviewed their proposal.
it was interesting because we met on was it Monday,
Mhm.
right? And so right away, I think we all, without a whole lot of discussion,
Yeah.
saw the vision here with BBS. So we all liked this proposal. I think we all ranked this number one.
Yes.
Right.
yeah, I mean, I think hearing that from you having worked with them before, Jim knowing the firm, and also the letters of support, I think they speak for themselves.
I agree.
Very
I'm excited to get
Add
this one.
another 3 weeks,
Yeah,
so let's
Yeah.
get going.
exactly. I think this is going to be, something that is really going to be long-lasting, a terrific, thing to the community. In addition
And a
to the
great
community, yeah.
location.
Great location. I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to really serve our seniors and youth bureau well.
Mhm.
So
And they're all looking forward to it.
yes.
All right, so we'll do the resolution on Tuesday, and
Move
we'll
forward.
communicate
Rocket,
that, and then
rocket speed. Yep.
hit the ground running.
Exactly.
Have a building to sell.
Which is moving along.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
very much.
Thank you.
All right, so that brings us to our liaison update. Started last time, so let's go to the consent of the table.
We had a great turnout at Trout Pond last weekend. We cleaned out the invasive species for the third year in a row, made it nicer for kayakers and swimming. And it was a good turnout, and Councilman Uselli was there. So that was good.
They have good weather
We
for
did.
that.
It was a gorgeous day.
Seems like a fun thing to do.
We also, there was also a meeting on the Bridgehampton Sag Harbor Turnpike, sponsored by Suffolk County and Suffolk County DPW. They are looking to, they're in the planning phase of a particular project to extend sidewalks from Bridgehampton area in front of the Natural History Museum and the Children's Museum all the way into Sag Harbor, moving them north. So the community came out. That was also well attended. So, that is happening?
I attended a really beautiful Flag Day ceremony at Hampton Bays Elementary School on Friday, Flag Day. We also had the monthly veteran appreciation honoring Tony Pensa, who's a retired Air Force veteran. It was just a really nice ceremony. The second graders did an amazing job. You know, they read the biography of the veteran, and the reading skills of second graders are far beyond anything that I remember. It was just a really sweet ceremony, and it was a lot of parents there and veterans, and it was just it was a really, really nice event, nice day.
Oh, that's nice. Let's see, I went to a ribbon cutting for 2 new homes that Habitat for Humanity put up, along with the Southampton Housing Authority. And, you know, they came from the county, the properties, and the town donated them to Habitat. And it was so wonderful. I mean, I wasn't involved from the beginning, but it was nice to be there to see the families, you know, have these 2 new homes. One was a couple, and the other was a husband and wife with 4 daughters. And it's going to be a noisy household. But they were so thrilled to get their own homes, and just a beautiful job. So it was nice to participate. And Bill and Michael were there with me also. So that's that. Okay, so what we'll do now is we're going to have to I move to go into executive session to discuss personnel and confidential legal advice, and then we'll close the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.